Hey, it's just past the middle of June here in Northern Ontario, Canada. So I figured I'd give you guys a little garden tour now that everything is in the ground. Here's a quick pan of my backyard gardening space. It's probably about 800 square feet, and I use a combination of raised bed, greenhouse, cold frame, vertical, and square foot gardening. I have a lot of herbs. Most of them are perennial, and it's hyssop, echinacea, lemon balm, sage, lovage, and my calendula. Peppermint, chives. I've seeded cucumbers all along the back row, and I've transplanted a few of my cucamelons that are already starting to crawl. So they'll all crawl up these trellises. On the other side, there's sunflowers. So once the cucumbers reach the top of this trellis, they can then start to wrap around the sunflowers. Eggplants here, and mostly onions that will be going to seed for me. Oh my God, Benny, what are you doing? Oh my God, I was just standing here. These are all my bean pole teepees. So for my pole beans, they will crawl up here. Around them, I've planted tomatoes, and the tomatoes are indeterminate. So as they grow, I can clip them to the poles as well. Okay, so these work really well together. Benny just stole some food from the chicken coop. He's got to show me before he runs away again. It's really cool. First round of peas, second round of peas. Oh my God, Benny, stop. Third round of peas. And a bunny came and ate a few of them. Rhubarb needs to be picked again. Peppers all in the front. I know they look small, but they're already twice the size as when I put them in, and they're loving this heat. Corn. My pumpkins are shaded right now because this heat is making them wilt. Watermelons are not doing too well. Nights are still pretty cold. I'm gonna have to replant once it warms up a bit. Ugh. Asparagus. Strawberries. Something ate this one. You're lucky. I pick these ones when they're starting to turn red. These will ripen inside. More strawberries. These ones are a later season strawberry, so they're white and they only bloom once. Whereas these guys over here are everbearing and they continue to bloom the more you pick. Grapevine, second grapevine. You can see the grapes starting to form on there. My cold frames are looking really, really good. Normally these have windows over them in the off season. I use these for two things. One, to be able to access herbs earlier and later in the season, and two, to be able to overwinter things that normally I would not be able to overwinter in the open garden due to just the harsh winters. So real quickly, here's a few things that I've overwintered, which means I grew them last year, left them so that they could turn into seed this year. So these are biennials. They don't give me seed in the first year, they give me seed in the second year. Okay, leeks, celery, parsley, Swiss chard, parsnips, kale, rutabaga, carrots, cabbage, turnips, lovage, Brussels sprouts, and beets. Lavender, sage, peppermint. Peppermint I find takes a while to get going, so I like to have it in here so I can have an earlier crop. Thyme, lemon balm, oregano. All these vegetables in this bed will not produce flower in order to create the food that we eat. That's why I can cover it, because I don't need pollination until I want to make seed. And this bed is covered to protect them from cabbage worms, because I have a lot of brassicas in here. Garlic, beets, cauliflower, carrots, broccoli, celery, broccoli, beets. Brussels sprouts. These ones got eaten, so I replanted. A couple tomatillos, my okra. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna lose these guys, but these ones are looking like they might survive. Pole beans, patty pan squash, and bush beans. I just reseeded my bush beans because the ducks got in on this side and over here. I have scarlet runners that are gonna run up my trellis here. This is another type of squash that will run up as well. Garlic in the middle. I'm actually starting to see scapes, which is really exciting. I'm going to pull those off shortly once they get a tiny bit bigger. Zucchini all along the outside. These are delicata squash. They're still acclimating to the heat, so I'm going to cover them very soon. Some birdhouse gourds here. Soybeans, my favorite type of bean. These are Cherokee beans, so they like to really crawl. They're going to crawl up my trellis and meet my loofahs on the other side. More peppers, sage, yarrow, peanuts, blackberries. More peppers. And in behind, I have cherry tomatoes and ground cherries along the other side. The cherry tomatoes will crawl up this trellis. And this actually acts as a good barrier for my ground cherries too, because these guys will really grow big if you let them. So this kind of stops them from taking over this space. Radishes, look at them. Oh my God, they're beautiful. These are a yellow radish. These are my crimson crunches. Oh my God, we get to them, they're starting to go to seed. Spinach that the bunny hasn't eaten. Dill, more peppers. These are sweet peppers. And again, cucumbers all along the back to run up. Oh, they're starting to come up. Oh my God, you guys are so cute. Cute, cute, cute. Turnips, Swiss chard, rutabaga, more turnips, Brussels sprouts, kohlrabi, cilantro, leeks that will seed, spinach, forage, and sweet peas, which will crawl along here and meet on the other side with my buttercup squash. This is my dead and dying garlic bed. Whatever's killing my garlic only affects garlic. Everything else is doing really beautiful. I have beans in here, leeks in here, and I even shoved some artichokes in here as well. Just the garlic is stupid. Rainbow kale or carrots, mustard, a few other kinds of mustard, lavender, sea buckthorn, some parsley going to seed for me, motherwort, bee balm, Benny bum, sorrel, potatoes. This bed doesn't look like much, but there's stuff seeded in it. Spinach, safflower, teddy bear sunflowers, some jelly melons, cabbage. That was really big in the greenhouse and I'm trying to harden it off. Spearmint, fennel, peppermint, lemon balm, chamomile. I gotta come thin this. That's the main garden. I also have my cannabis planted along the greenhouse, and in between each cannabis plant is a cabbage. Greenhouse beds are all full now. Birdhouse gourds here, birdhouse gourds along the back, tomatoes, okra, basil, peppers, a couple different types of basil. Oh, there's one spot right there for something. Watermelon, loofah, more loofahs, more peanuts, lettuce, and broccoli. And flowers. Sunflowers all along the back row. Calendula, milk thistle, snapdragons, cosmos, asters, poppies, bee's friend, starflowers, amaranth, zinnias, nicotiana, foxglove, lavatera, lisianthus, stalks, marshmallow, cupid's dart, more amaranthus, petunias, hollyhocks, linaria, alliums, balloon flower, culver's root, zinnias, larkspur, nasturtiums, cornflower, valerian, masterwort, more asters, more cosmos, a rose campion. On the deck I have some basil, small peppers, more basil, bonsai tomatoes. There's the garden.